welcome, and thank you for tuning in. You're listening to the Beyond 50 radio program. I'm Daniel Davis. On the program today, we're going to see how we can achieve optimal health, or at least if you feel that you're at that particular level, then maybe perhaps we can help you regain it. Many of us have tried to use the approach in our lives that usually include things such as massage therapists, which in fact our two guests joining us here on the Beyond 50 radio program have more than 55 years of experience in. But as they were approaching this particular healing modality, they kept seeing their clients get more and more stiff and develop toxic conditions such as fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, multiple sclerosis, and an assortment of systemic diseases. So they decided to embark on research to find a way to help their clients, and they kept hearing about a whole body vibration system and thought it sounded like the solution they were looking for. Unable to find any machines they could try that they wanted to develop in Portland, Oregon, they traveled to California to try one type and eventually brought one back. Their old office was much smaller, and their clients kept asking them to open a new studio so that they could use the machine whenever they wanted. And that's exactly what they did. Today we're going to be talking about whole body vibration. It's what is known as a pulsed electromagnetic field mat and far infrared sauna, which are a couple of the tools that they use at a place known as Total Body Solutions. I'd like to welcome to the Beyond 50 radio program today our special guests, Tara Krupich and Esther Bell, as they talk with us about how they use this approach with these unique tools in their wonderful place known as BodyQuirks. Esther, thank you for joining us here on the program. And Tara, how are you doing today?
Yeah, very well, Daniel. Thank you for having us.
Very. Now, tell us about your background and how you arrived at the particular conclusions the two of you did and what you offer here at your wellness studio.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, we've been in the practice for a combination of 55 years, and we opened BodyQuirks, Whole Body Vibration Studio. We're going on our fourth year. And as you said, we saw our clients declining, and we saw this was helping a great deal with our body conditions and theirs. So we needed to have a bigger platform. And we decided that our main focus at our studio was going to be the whole body vibration machines, because they're really all encompassing, and they can do a variety of things for people to suit their different needs. And as you said, we offer massage and body work from either Esther and I. We have the great complementary styles. And you mentioned the far infrared sauna, which has many health benefits, including it's really good for heavy metal detox. A lot of naturopaths are sending clients our way for its ability to penetrate deeper to get those heavy metals out. And the pulse electromagnetic field mat is our unit is from Sweden, and it uses exclusively earth-based Schumann frequencies, which, that's a lot of jargon, but it essentially helps to charge the cells in your body so they can do the work of healing.
Anything else you want to add there?
Yeah, I think that's about it. We offer alkaline water there, and we have supplements that people enjoy. We'll get into the details of the equipment further on, but yeah, that's about encompass our studio, what we offer.
Now let's talk about the whole body vibration technology. How was it invented? Where did it come from?
Well, there's documentation of vibration being used in the mid-1800s to help improve health. But what we now know as whole body vibration started in the 1960s when we were having that space race with Russia, and people were staying up in space longer and longer to try and beat each other. And what they found is when there was no resistance in the body, when you're floating around and there's nothing pulling at your bones, they started to lose bone and muscle mass. So when they came back from space, they literally could not stand up because they didn't have enough strength to do so. So this technology was invented in Russia and then adapted by the United States for their program. And it's, once they helped these astronauts and cosmonauts recover from being in space, they tried to figure out what else it could be used for, and then they found that there was just an enormous amount of benefit from, a moving platform that stimulates every muscle in your body to fire. So they started using it with the elderly to help improve balance, for core training, and athletes started to use it to bring their game to the next level. So it's been around since the 1960s, so there's over 50 years of research in all different fields.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm curious what a person can expect when they come to see you folks, especially on their first, session on these whole body vibration machines.
Yeah, that's a good question because a lot of people don't know what to expect. So we really take the time for your first appointment. You would just call up or stop in to make a first appointment. And we do a bit of an intake, to make sure the machines are good for you, that you don't have any contraindications. We give you a tour of our facility because we have, like I mentioned, quite a few offerings. And then we give you a try. We give you a trial on our machines, and we do a variety depending on what your intake results are. We try to help you find a good fit with the machine, and usually it takes about 15 to 30 minutes. Some people have a lot of questions. And you asked what you expect to feel. Most people feel more energy right away. It really helps the energy body. It really releases, if you're into the energy bodies, it helps to clear auric fields, piezoelectric body, and just people feel like happier right away. Their mood is inevitably better. And we often see people who have hip or back pain report that it's either greatly diminished or in some cases it's just gone, if it's just muscle related. Now, chronic issues take a bit longer to resolve, of course, but just to give you an example of what the machines can do, prior to having the machines, I had back pain for over 10 years. I had a rollover accident in my early 20s, and you're young and you recover, but I developed adhesions and I think even a bone spur I was diagnosed with in my 30s and 40s. And I tried everything. I'm very active. I tried to rehab in a traditional way, but I was injured. So I just kept getting hurt with, with PT. And I did do, I had a Pilates machine I was using, and I did get stronger, but I couldn't, my back pain was, the instability was still there. And what I realized after I got on the machine is I think it took less than a month, and my back pain was gone. And what I realized that because of my injuries, and my back was very unstable. And what the machine did for me was, since it finds every muscle in your body and can fire it all at once, it was engaging my core muscles that were kind of offline because of my injuries. And less than a month, my back pain was gone.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was really exciting, and we've seen many clients have similar experiences with that.
Well, this is also exciting here. So, how long would you say it took before you started seeing or experiencing these results or noticing them?
It varies with each person. The recommendation is to see your core strength improve and your stamina and even your mood to improve using it 2 to 3 times a week for 15 to 20 minutes. Immediately starts showing results. And over a long period of time, since we've been open for a little over 3 years, we see some of our clients come in and say, you know what, I don't have any more back pain, and the other day I realized when I got up that my knee wasn't hurting when I was walking, and I didn't have to think about it. So it varies with person, and it varies with the amount of injury that they have, but results are very obviously happening within a few weeks.
Sounds impressive. There's no doubt about that. I'm curious, when you talk about conditions, I mean, I mentioned some very serious ones, it seems like, such as fibromyalgia, people who seem to be fatigued all the time, multiple sclerosis. Let's talk about those things. Are these the kind of people that would actually benefit from the use of this technology? Tell us about that.
Yeah. There's actually multiple studies on the use of full body vibration with MS and even with Parkinson's disease. And the reason it works for conditions such as those is people with MS and Parkinson's lose the ability to have the microcontractors that are really important so that you don't become spastic. And what happens with whole body vibration, because it stimulates the microcontractors continuously, 100% of the time that you're on the machine and it's on, it causes the muscle to remember the use of those muscles in the way that it had forgotten to do. We actually had a couple of clients with MS and a client with Parkinson's, and all of them ended up buying whole body vibration machines for their home. And they've reported to us great improvement in their condition and their ability to move more smoothly.
Now, what about age restrictions? We're talking to people midlife, beyond, things like that. Is there any restriction for these people, or is this pretty good for everybody of all ages?
Yeah, well, since we have a variety of machines from very gentle, we'll get into hertz later, but our lowest one is capable of about 15 hertz. These are very gentle machines that most everyone could get on. There's some people that are just, the energy of the machine is just too much, and we start them very slow, maybe get their feet on first. But we haven't seen any problems with age restriction at all. It's mostly condition related. So, but even then, if they have more severe conditions, we just start them very slowly, and most people will graduate to getting more time on the machine, seeing results. But it might go a little slower, but still, it's happening for people.
Yeah, we help people start from where they come. Depending on how injured or how weak they are, we work with them to build up their stamina. Mm-hmm. Our youngest member is 14 years old, and our oldest is 88 years old. So we cover a gamut of people, and we just work with where people are coming from.
So do those two come in together?
No, they're not related.
Thought I'd ask. A little bit of inspiration there between the generations, kind of a thing. So, now, how about people who do physical therapy? Things such as chiropractic, or maybe they're seeing a naturopath, that sort of a thing. Can this be used in tandem? Is that something that's possible?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, we work with a series of physical therapists. We have a couple of chiropractors and a couple of naturopaths that are sending us people. The infrared sauna is amazing for people who have heavy metal toxicity, so naturopaths are sending us people to use that. But for whole body vibration, because it is so gentle and it mobilizes things so well, it really helps people to recover in a very gentle way. So there's no impact. You don't lift your feet and put them back down. You stand on a platform that is causing all of your body parts to fire and mobilize. So people who have tried to rehab, let's say, and do bicycles or a rowing machine or a treadmill, every time they keep trying to do that and they re-injure themselves, they become more and more fearful of doing it. But with whole body vibration, since what you do is just stand, and the body is being mobilized and being activated and warmed up, and the joints are being mobilized also, the body can start to heal itself without the fear of re-injury. So we have, like I said, people that are sent to us by all different modalities, and we keep trying to make more and more contacts with other naturopaths and physical therapists and occupational therapists to, work in conjunction with them and really allow their clients to get better. And, for things like chiropractors, if their clients use our machines before they get adjusted, their adjustments hold longer because the muscles are warmed up. We used to be in a chiropractic office when we had just one machine, and the chiropractor sent their patients to come and use the machine before they would adjust them because it would make it so much easier for both the patient and the chiropractor.
Very good. It's good to have a lot of these things that people can become aware of. And I understand that you have massage clients who use this as well. How have they benefited from this, and how do you think that this actually, I guess, varies from having the typical traditional massage?
Well, like the things Esther mentioned, it's really good to get on the machine before, like chiropractic or massage, because it so thoroughly warms your tissues up, and it opens up joints, makes you more mobile, and frankly, it's a lot less work for us, when people get on it before, because like almost half of our work is done. Half of the work of massage is warming tissue up so we can really get in there to get the adhesions or knots or whatever's going on. And then we love to see members in our massage room, that are coming regularly to use the machine, because we get to know their body very thoroughly, and we can tell them in our experience what helps on the machine to, like, open that joint. Or I get a lot of people with frozen shoulders, or a plethora of knee issues, and the machine is so good for releasing adhesions, and it's good for stretching too, and it's good to mobilize joints, like we said. So there's just endless information there for us to help our clients use the machine better. So it works very well with massage, and we can, like I said, get a lot more done.
Now, there's a PEMF. What is that, and how can what does that assist with?
Okay, the PEMF stands for Pulsed Electromagnetic Field, and it was actually what it does is it mimics the Earth's frequencies, and those are essential for life, just like food, water, and oxygen. So, and modern science has developed PEMF devices so that they can stimulate and duplicate the Earth's natural frequencies. They're very gentle means for charging your cells, so your body has the energy to heal itself. So basically what it is a full body mat that you lay on, and it is made out of pure copper coil, and the machine that controls it helps it to generate the pulsed electromagnetic field, and it travels throughout your body. It goes right through you, and it feeds your tissues and cells and recharges them. And so it gives your body energy and vitality. There are really too many conditions to really tell you all about, but it has been used in Europe for a really long time. And when it was first introduced into the United States, it was used to help heal bones for horses. You can really concentrate the energy in an area that has major injury, and it reduces the inflammation and also recharges the cells so they can regenerate. So it's used by athletes to help with inflammation. It's used by people with Lyme disease to help just simply recharge the cells and to be able again to function better. And I know ballet dancers love it because it helps the inflammation in their feet. So there's a myriad of uses for it. We have a mat, and we have a full body mat and a small mat that you can use it in concentrated areas of greater inflammation.
Well, nothing like being able to help the belly dancers of the world be able to perform their job with ease, huh?
There you go.
Now, is this something they can also use in tandem with the whole body vibration, as you were discussing earlier?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We have people who regularly use whole body vibration. In our studio, you can become a member, and you have unlimited use of the machines. And many of our clients will come in 2, 3, 4 times a week and use the whole body vibration machine. And if they have any situations where they have an inflammatory process going on, like one of our members had a earache, and she came in and says, well, do you think PEMF will help? And we said yes. And so she laid down on the mat and used it directly on her ear. And within 24 minutes, her pain was gone. and it did not come back. So many of our clients, all of our members know what modalities we have, and most of them use multiple modalities within our studio.
Very good. That's very exciting to know about things such as this. Now, I'm kind of curious how often this can be used.
Well, they recommend, like, for the long mat we talked about that you can lay on, they recommend to use that first. And it takes about 8 to 16 minutes to charge your cells on the mat. And if you have other issues, you would then use, like Esther mentioned, the smaller pad. Let's say I used it. I had a meniscus tear about a year ago, and I couldn't use the machines. My knee, it was too much, and that's the only thing I used for a while. And it, well, that's kind of a long story. But by the time I was in an accident, and about a year later, and they took an MRI of my knee, and I asked them how my meniscus tear was doing, and they looked at me like I was crazy because they saw no evidence of it. And I know that pad helped a great deal to heal those tissues. And to answer your other question, you can safely use the machine 3 times a day without a problem. And most people actually, if they don't have one at home, they'll use it once every 3 weeks, and that still provides results. They're just not as quick.
Wow, very exciting stuff. You know, I'm also curious now, we've talked about a couple of things that people can use, but now you have a third thing that you have here for healing, which is known as the far infrared sauna. And I'm sure people have an idea what a sauna is, but a far infrared sauna might be a little bit different. Tell us what that is and what does it help people do?
Well, the difference between a far infrared sauna and a regular heat sauna, dry heat sauna, is the type of energy that is used to heat the body. On a regular sauna, you have a big heating element with rocks on it, and it heats the rocks, and the rocks heat the air. And when you walk in it, most saunas are kept between 180 and 220 degrees, and you walk in and your eyes wonder what happened to them, and your lungs say, you want me to breathe this? And so you can't really stay in a dry sauna for very long. And the difference between that and the far infrared sauna is that the far infrared sauna uses the spectrum of light from the sun so it penetrates in the body and warms the body, and it doesn't heat the air. So it penetrates deeper than a regular sauna. It can penetrate up to 1.5 inches, so it goes deeply into tissues and joints, and releases tension in the joints and warms the tissue. So people with things like rheumatoid arthritis feel great relief with the use of far infrared sauna. But if people are coming in for metal detox, it penetrates so deeply into the tissues and into the organs, and it causes you to start sweating at a much lower temperature than the regular sauna. So it helps with the heavy metal detox. If you're in the process of losing weight, you sweat pretty profusely in the far infrared sauna. It helps with cellulite reduction. It relaxes your muscles. It also boosts your blood circulation, and it stimulates the production of endorphins. So you feel pretty happy when you're in a sauna, and it's also deeply relaxing. Oftentimes our clients, when they come in to use it, just turn the light off in the room and just sleep through the whole process and find themselves to be very, very relaxed.
Now, I think I could see some advantages with using a far infrared sauna versus the typical sauna where it's really hot because, as you said, this seems to focus in, so there doesn't seem to be as much heat in the room. Does that seem correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
The highest temperature that our sauna goes to is 170, and a regular Finnish sauna goes to 220. So our temperatures are kept between 140 and 155 for most people, and the sessions last 40 to 45 minutes depending on what the person can tolerate or wants. And so, we especially when people have never used it before, we start them at about 120 to 130 degrees, and as the person becomes used to it, they can raise the temperature to meet the needs that they have, depending on how much sweating they want to do, If it's just for relaxation and they want to be warm, then they lower the temperature and stay in longer. So again, it's customizable to people and their needs.
Well, very good. That's I mean, it's nice to know something like that, because you can imagine people having a difficult time, especially in a place like a wet sauna, where it gets too hot, too unbearable. I mean, people, can have some real problems there, whereas this kind of eliminates that, but gives you even greater benefits, it sounds like.
Yes.
Now, first of all, I want to thank the both of you for being on the program today to talk to us about BodyQuirks. Now, how can people find out more about where they can get a hold of you and maybe, try some of these things out to see how they can improve their health?
Well, we have a really, really good website. It's just BodyQuirks.com. We have a lot of information in there. We do almost a biweekly blog in there covering all sorts of different themes and conditions. And calling into our studio, we're located at Martin Luther King in Fremont, so it's very central. We have a parking lot, so it's easy for people to come in and visit us and not have to park 3 blocks away and walk in. And, if you look us up on Yelp or any of the other platforms, our phone number is there. We're happy when people call and say they want to come in and do a studio tour and experience whole body vibration. We are happy to spend the time with them and understand what their needs are and show them what we have. And, we're not a hard sell. Whole body vibration is an incredible tool to help people maintain their health. And so we try to make it as available to people as possible and work with them individually.
Well, very good. I want to thank both you, Tara, and Esther, for joining us here on the Beyond 50 radio program today to let people know about how they can heal in a very natural and sounds like non-invasive way with using Total Body Solutions. Thank you so much for being on the program today.
Thank you, Dan. Okay.
We want to thank you, the listeners out there. As know, you can always find out by discovering more at beyond50radio.com. That is the number 50. We do encourage you to sign up for our weekly e-newsletter so you can stay up to date on what's going on, things such as like the whole body systems we were talking about today, and also upcoming programs as well. I'm Daniel Davis. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Beyond 50 radio program, and remember, live your day past halfway.